Most of like sometimes it's gonna be your family, and you just gotta distance yourself from it, and stop trying to be so comfortable. That's the main thing right there. You so hell bent on being comfortable in life that you're blocking your own growth in general. Like there are people with shit relationships that they've been in forever, and they're afraid to break that. They're afraid to leave the relationship just because it's a fact that, all right, I'm trying to be loyal. But what are you being loyal to if you're not being loyal to yourself?
What are you doing today that makes you better than the person you were yesterday? That is part of the Ascension brand. That is the motto, the heart of what we stand for. When I pass away, I want people to know. I want people to remember me, not for the time that I've spent on this planet, but for the things that I have done to contribute to society. My mama raised a loser, but I broke the chains. I wasn't made to be a player. I was made to
the Dirty Trunk Podcast with the elephant as always. Welcome. It is me, your boy Marcus Morton. Always here with me is the Aaron Mack, and we're in here for another one.
Back again for another one. Marcus, what's up with you, man?
Been doing pretty good. Yeah, that's about it. We ain't really here to talk too much about work, but something interesting happened at work. I was told that I was gonna be made a L3 before I leave that job, and I'm just like, oh, okay, all right, sure. People don't know what an L3 is. Just like a short position, ain't it? Or are you an L? Okay, all right. So yeah, my job wants me to move up. I don't mind moving up. It's not really my forte, especially at that particular job. But you know, whatever. That's my mindset about that.
Yeah, right. Like as something weird happened to me at work recently, man. You know, we get the monthly ISP talk or whatever that is. I don't know what ISP stand for actually, but it's pretty much like a status report, and just to show you how well you've been doing and how much you're progressing. It's pretty much the BS meter that they use to determine whether a L3 is ready for promotion. And you know, I have absolutely no goals and no plans of being any. I'm still good.
Yeah, you good. You good.
Yeah, I have absolutely no plans of being a going up any higher in this position. I'm like, yo, I got all these dreams of being a best-selling author. I'm quitting this joint as soon as I start making some money outside of this joint. And like, I have absolutely like I'm sitting up here thinking about like starting a media office / real estate office and all this other stuff like that, podcast studio and all this other stuff, gaming studio. And I'm like, and as my man is talking to me about this progress that I supposedly making and all of the things that I have to, he literally telling me that I had to do my job in order to progress in this thing, and what I had to do better at the things that I already doing and things that he never had to go through. And I'm like, yo, and it made me feel weird. And I'm like, why am I upset about this? Like, what is happening here? Like, you already know that that this ain't where you're gonna be at. So why are you even tripping over this job stuff? And I'd be damned if Alyssa had this conversation with her supervisor yesterday, and the same thing happened to her. I'm like, what is wrong with us?
What is wrong with us? And all right, so to kind of like shed a little bit more light on that, like these are two people that, you know, work their butt off. Like, it's not like you guys are like some of the other people that we work with, you know, come in, do literally the bare minimum and then go home, or like kind of push their work onto others. Because I'm pretty sure another person in your position, I'm not sure if he gets those type of feedback. And like
He can't. He can't. It's not
he
possible.
literally gets lower paying associates to do his job, and I'm just like, this what we doing? Like this is how we. This is okay. This is the normal. This is what we're condoning. But yeah, yeah. So how you feel about that Will Smith situation, sir?
Oh, see, we just gonna go jump right into that like that, huh?
Yeah,
All right, so
we're gonna
just for
try to cover.
time's sake, we
Mhm.
gotta fully envelop in that thing, man. Because I was like, I at first like for the first few days I didn't really know what was
Mm.
going on, but like everybody kept talking about it. I'm like, yo, what the fuck happened? I'm like, the Oscars came on last night. What? Like, but all right, so apparently my man Chris Rock made some jokes about some people, as stand-up comedians do.
A joke.
As stand-up comedians do. He made a
Mm.
joke and he was going around the room. It's not like he stopped on one particular person and just like laid their whole life out and just but he was going around the room. I saw the whole
Mm.
clip. And he made a joke about Will, and then he moved along the line. He moved. He talked. He said one joke about Jada, and kept going. And my
Mm.
man Will Smith didn't like that shit. He laughed. He got up and went and slapped the shit out of my man on stage. I
False or
don't know.
false?
I don't.
Uh, False or
Hey,
false?
hey. Boss move. False
Oh man.
pretenses.
Uh
False pretenses, bro. Boss move. False pretenses. We got
I don't know, man.
an and or right here, bro.
All right, so like I say it's a false move. I think he could have handled that a little bit differently. Uh, even with the circumstances, like, all right, it could be so many things that like maybe Chris Rock didn't know. Just say push come to shove. Chris Rock didn't
Mm-hmm.
know.
Yeah.
Uh, Another thing, who's to say that the contents of what he said was meant it as a joke? Like apparently the GI, what was GI
G.I.
Jane?
Jane.
That's an actual movie. Apparently
I
it
don't know
was
nothing about that. I'm about to look it up now.
apparently it was a real like empowering woman movie. Like it empowers women and embodies uh the movement of woman empowerment or whatever. And every role, literally every role that Jada Pickett Smith plays in, whether it's a show or a movie, she is a boss ass bitch. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong at all, bro. You're
So
not wrong at all.
how could, let's just say if it was a joke, how could the joke about being a GI Jane, which is a Marine, I believe, probably a woman Marine going out there, own her stuff. How is that, you know, insulting?
I don't know, bro. I think it was the. All right, so apparently
Mm,
she has a condition where she can't grow her hair.
she can't.
Yeah, she has apparently is and it's allegedly she has alopecia,
Mm,
so that means that she can't grow her hair. She still has hair. I ain't never heard of anybody with alopecia not having hair, like having hair at all. Like usually alopecia means you bald, but I ain't got nothing to do with that.
mm,
Um, but yeah, like apparently she has alopecia and it's a real
mm,
sensitive matter, and that's why she got the flat cut. But yeah, I feel like it was like all right. So from my perspective, like I want to say like I think it's either one or two things, bro.
mm.
The shit was staged, and maybe there is a GI Jane 2 coming out, And everybody wanted, and for whatever reason, somebody wanted to be like, "Oh yeah, Chris Rock had a good idea. GI Jane 2 would be dope, and let's get Jada Pinkett to play that." Um, it could be that shit was straight up staged, or I found a post. Alyssa found a post that she shared with me that I wanted to read on this podcast, and it made a lot of sense to me, bro. Because just based on the tonality of what happened, it kind of makes sense. So let me read this joint to you real quick, Mark. So it's a post by a guy named Jordan on Facebook. I guess my man is he has a one of those fan pages. So I guess he an influencer. Will Smith at this point is completely broken. He is not the bad guy here. Jada is pulling all the strings. She broke down his masculinity on television during a talk about why she cheated on him. Her excuse was if he loved me enough, he would have known. I think that Will Smith wholeheartedly did not care about the joke Chris Rock made at the Oscars, but Jada looks over at Will once the camera pans away, as if to say, "If you don't stand up for me, this is why I cheated. Keep toxic women out of your life because it can turn nice dudes into monsters."
Whew. The circle you keep around you.
I feel that, bro.
And yeah.
I feel that, bro.
I was thinking that same thing because I seen the clip where everyone kind of laughs and she just has this she basically rolls her eyes. She literally like rolls her eyes in disgust about the joke. And like that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, yo, she's a manipulator. She is like toying with Will's emotions.
Yeah, because like
And
even when Chris Rock said the joke, even Will laughed.
this thing always getting out of focus. Oh, boy.
It seemed like last time you backed up a little bit, and that joint kind of did its thing.
My thing is, what is it focusing on?
That's a good question.
But yeah, I think there was either an interview or article, saying how even Will kind of he doesn't have that much self confidence in himself. He even compares that he feels inadequate because he can't live up to her previous relationship when she was with like Tupac and whatnot. And like he just it's ridiculous. I'm like, yo, you are your own person, bro. Like you have accomplished so much with and without her. And I'm just like, how low are you gonna like dig yourself to make it so you prove yourself to this woman? And I'm just like, that
was a meme that it was messed up, but it had me dying. It was like Jada said she allegedly said that she leaving Will Smith because Tupac would have shot him.
that's cold. That's cold.
Yeah, man, like I feel that because like that kind of emotional manipulation, man, like I could understand how that could change somebody, bro. Like what that post is saying, like just being around somebody who's going to do you like that and put you in that kind of headspace, and all you want to do is get their approval, bro. All you want to do is get their approval, or just like make sure that they know that you doing all that you can to make everything work. And then I definitely know what that feels like, bro, because like my I hate going there, bro, because it seemed like I talk about it way too often, bro, but like just
I
the
mean,
the
it's a
last
part of your life.
relationship that I was in, bro, like I felt like that was the case, bro.
It's a part of life. We don't like mean to stumble on these people. Uh Sometimes it could be, the environment you're in, or the the conditioning that you've had as, a kid or whatever. Um what you're brought up in, it could kind of what's the word? Not really condition, but like, yeah, condition you for that, like condition you to be attracted to that. Like that's the
Yeah.
only thing that you have to look forward to, is
Mm.
someone that's gonna, I gotta provide for this significant other or this friend, or I gotta go above and beyond to make sure, you know, they're happy and sacrifice to my happiness, the saying, happy wife, happy life, and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Um it's deep down just a form of manipulation,
Right.
and
Facts. Facts. Yeah.
it's easy to fall into and be blinded to the signs of it.
Yeah, bro. Cause somebody said that shit to me, and I was like, yo, but I'm not happy.
Mm-hmm.
So what? Like, you telling me that I'm not supposed to be happy as long as she is? Like, yo, that's kind of fucked up. And then when you try to talk about why you're not happy, then all of a sudden you ain't man enough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you too emotional. You too in your feelings. You too
Yeah,
sensitive.
yeah, yeah. It's all. Oh man, nah. You know what?
That's different topic
That's
for
a
another
different
time.
podcast. Right, right, right.
Mhm.
God damn.
But yeah,
Anyway,
to bring it back, it's like the moral of the story is basically like, be careful who you surround yourself with. Uh,
we'll get there. We'll get
and
there. Hold up.
oh,
Hold up. That's the topic, bro.
that's the topic. Okay, all right.
Yeah, yeah. So look, I want to go into this joint because
Mhm.
this is more up our alley, and
Okay.
we not necessarily we're not necessarily around celebrity status, so I don't want to take the conversation into the topic from Will Smith. I want to take it
Okay.
back to I want to take it back to somebody on our level a little bit, like
Okay.
down in the bottom. All right, so there's some another couple that we work with. All right, yeah, bro, I really don't know how to go into this, but look, check. All right, so they both recently got vehicles, and my man, he was like, I don't know if he was excited about it or like how the conversation went, but
Mhm.
him and Alyssa were talking about cars. And I don't know what he said to get Alyssa to have a conversation about cars, because that girl does not like to talk about cars. She does not care. Like when I tell you, like there couldn't be one person in the universe who could care less about vehicles. They got competition with her, bro. Like real
Mhm.
talk. Like she does not care about cars. Like the maintenance of them, the inspections of them, like all that other stuff. Like yo, she does not give a fuck. Like none. Like she one of the type of people that like if like you know how like the typical women who like if they hear a funny sound in the vehicle when they're driving it, and don't tell the man about nothing, and the joint just like fall and shit, and you be like, yo, how long has it been like this? Oh, it started like last year. When the fuck were you gonna say something like the car rattling, the like the check engine light been on for like
Mhm.
the last 200,000 miles? Like yeah, she one of those. Like I had to get on a lot about that, but so the fact that she was having a conversation about vehicles with this person was a little strange to me. And my man, he subsequently got the same car that she got, but his is a 2020 Mark, and Alyssa's joined is a 2018. Both of us got 2018 cars,
Mhm.
and she was like, "Oh, that's nice." She was like, I got a Hyundai Elantra too, and you know I love my car." And she's like, "I bet it's nice, isn't it?" and the conversation came. The conversation went into how he was excited because his was newer, and he stayed there for a little bit too long on the fact
Mhm.
that his was better because it was newer.
What?
So my you got to help me understand, bro, because I was lost, bro. I was like, when she told me that, I was like,
Mhm.
"Are you bothered by that? The fact that his is newer?" She was like, "No, I didn't even care." I was like, "I didn't think you did." So why was that even? Why did they even come up in the conversation?
So, uh, and I don't even like to really call them friends. They're more of associates. They might see other people as friends, but it's like their sole purpose in life is to find the smallest thing. Yeah, people like that, their sole purpose, they don't really have too much going on outside of life. So it's like when they have something that they think, because usually it's like the other person really doesn't care at all, or it's like it's really not that big of a deal, but they make a mountain out of a molehill, and it's just like, what? How did we even get on this subject? And it's just like they'll take the smallest thing and be like, "Oh, I have this over you," or
You know what I'm saying?
it's really weird. It irks me because I'm like, yo, I really don't care, but I'm not trying to be rude, and I'm just like,
Ah, no, I feel like that's that at that point you got the right, bro. Because I'm like, yo, how did you resolve that situation? Because that sounds like a problem. Like that sounds like the perfect opportunity to put somebody in their place. And I'm like, yo, with all of the things that you got going on in your life, and you said up
mm,
there, let somebody tell you that you
belittle,
like you walked away, like you belittled it, like it
belittle.
just
Yep, that's
walked
the
away
word.
and walked away with it, like he it got away with it. I'm like, yo, you don't even drive yours. like, like that joint just sitting in the driveway, like not even we don't even drive it. Like
Hmm.
that's how insignificant this vehicle is, and we've talked about selling it. Like that's how insignificant it is. And he belittled her and got away with it. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to get to a point where we don't even drive the car.
Mm,
I'm trying to get to a point where we got a dude like him to come drive it for us since he's so excited about it.
mm,
Like, and I'm like, yo, how we get to a point where like, oh, mine's is newer is a part of the conversation. Like, what in the hell kind of BS is that? Like, where you even get off with that? Like, and you ain't even got like we both work 40 hours a week, so you ain't got time to
mm,
drive it. You ain't going nowhere but to work. So like, what is what are we doing here?
hmm. That wasn't an investment or nothing like that.
No,
That
I'm
was a
saying
purchase.
you ain't making
That
no money off of it.
that's a liability purchase right
No, I'm
there. That's
saying
not.
I was so confused, bro. I'm like, yo, I wish somebody would say some BS like that to me. I like their ass up.
But it's just the mindset that that person has. Like there's
Mm,
a person that we work very closely with. Uh, instead of like um instead of teaching, like they would rather uh get you to come to their level, or like we're gonna say video games. They would rather you play a video game that you don't like, that you don't normally play, and beat you at it because that's their favorite game, and then just like they just have that over you for like the rest of your life. Oh, remember that one game that you weren't so good in, and I beat you in it? Yeah, man, I'm the best, and all this other stuff. And I'm just like,
but like,
what?
are you actually playing against people who are going to challenge you?
Right, right.
Because if you ain't playing against people who going to challenge you, if you ain't picking up challenges and you ain't beating people who better than you, then it don't even matter.
Like you still on the same level. Like what
Like, right, you ain't got no better. You like Super Smash Brothers putting the computer on level 1.
you bragging about it?
There was 18 of them though, Mark.
And there's people out here that will have like a whole roster of level 9s and have it on teams, and they all on the same team, and they crushing all of them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So like, mm, and I had to. I thought about it like after that conversation happened, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, like it's amazing how people screw up with the balance of growth in life just
Mm-hmm.
because they want to be comfortable. And what do I mean by that? People want to be comfortable with as it pertains to, like you said, with the guy with the video game. I know exactly who you're talking about, so I ain't even gonna go there because we had way too many episodes about this guy. Like he's just like the all around example of things that you're not supposed to be as a human being, bro. Uh, Stagnant, uh, afraid of growth, afraid of success. Afraid of failure. He's all in that pot, right? Um, but anyway, like some like people are too comfortable. They want to be too comfortable, and you can see it in their language. You can hear it in their language. You can see it in the way they move throughout the world, and they like every relationship that they have is designed to make them feel good. But anything that challenged them,
Oh.
they run away from it.
Mm.
So what I'm trying to like the reason why I brought that story up because like y'all like for real, I've been saying this my entire life. My entire life. What they call it, the keeping up with the Joneses mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I've been seeing it my whole life. Your cousin get a car, and your cousin bragging about the car. Okay, all right, now I gotta get a car.
Mm.
Okay, well, you somebody got a purse. Now your girl asking you for a purse because this girl got a purse and hers ain't and hers fake and all this other stuff like that. Conversations like that, like it's all about stuff. Everything is about stuff because ain't nobody got no substance. Nobody has actual value in their conversation, in their being as a person. Like you're not valuable as a person. So every time you get new stuff, you start feeling important. So and everybody like for real, like most people that we talk to or come in contact with on a day-to-day basis, you have heard this conversation. You've been there before, whether it's family, whether it's friends. And I promise you, if you at work and you got a group of work friends,
Mm-hmm.
and you got a group of work friends and you say that these people are your best friends and you don't do nothing without them, I promise you, you know what I'm talking about. I promise you, you know what I'm talking about. Because at that point, it ain't even about stuff. But now you keeping invaluable people in your
Mm-hmm.
life to make you feel comfortable.
And I'm so glad I wrote it down. Uh, so a wise associate once said, it's better to be grateful than to be satisfied.
Ah,
And uh, that what Aaron just said about those people that just like that's what it is. They're satisfied with the stuff, the things that they purchase, the little small insignificant wins that they have. And it's like you have people out here that will get like bent out of shape, frustrated at like a challenge that they come across that's going towards their dream, and they won't let that stop them. They'll take on that challenge, figure it out, and go on to the next one. But say that person that's always looking for satis- satisfaction,
satisfaction.
satisfaction. English, it's not my strong suit, I swear. Uh, that's looking for satisfaction, they'll come across a challenge, and because they can't get it right away, they'll quit the whole project. They'll move on to something else, something
Easier.
more easy. Yep, something easier. And then once they get attached to that,
and
they
they brag
sucking it
about it,
dry.
and they overcompensate on the fact that they had to that they like because they feel it they feel it
Mm-hmm.
like there's no way that you can't feel it. So when they do it, they come to brag to you about the easier stuff that they did. They did a lot of easy things though. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot though. Like it don't matter that it was easy. It's a lot. Like it don't it is it's no different. It's no different than me not wanting to be like, all right, so check this out.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same exact scenario as
Okay.
me going to the real estate group.
Mm-hmm.
It was hard for me to break out of that blue collar mentality and go to the real estate group to try to find a mentor. It would have been easy for me not to go. But I could have did like 50 more episodes of the podcast and just been bragging about the fact that I did 50 more episodes of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same notion, bro.
Right. So how do we? Because those people will always they'll always be them. Uh, but for the people that find themselves like constantly stuck around those people, how do you suggest they break out of that?
Ask that again.
For the people that are not like the people we're talking about,
Mm-hmm.
they're they're on their entrepreneur path, but they
Mm-hmm.
just seem to find they keep like attracting those people, or they're just surrounded by those people. What advice do you give to them?
Yeah. All right. Um. So first of all, like you got to understand that you can't control. Like in certain environments, you can't control who come around you. Like I
Mm-hmm.
understand if you got a job, you got a 9 to 5, um, and you around people 40 hours a week or whatever the case may have you. But like you got to understand, like, look, when you at work is the only time you interact with people. That's a problem. That's a problem because you got 24 hours in your day just like everybody else do. So you can come around some people in your off time to to you come around people in your off time that's going to balance you a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem because most people be at work talking about somebody else, their best friend, but they ain't got their phone number, ain't never called them. So it shouldn't be too hard. I'm just saying, like,
Mm-hmm.
you shouldn't have a problem with that. Like that's what I'm trying to say. So like when you off or when you're not around those people, you know, make sure that you get around some folks that's going to challenge you. That's all I'm saying. And sometimes it's your family and you know you come around your family and the only thing they want to do is gossip about other family members.
Mm-hmm.
You had that happen sometimes. I know anytime I talk to my mom, she do the same thing. It's always so and so did this, so and so, you know, such and such in jail again. This person died. Blase blase splee. This person got into a fight, and this person kids got suspended from school. And I'm like, it's a whole bunch of negativity. I'm like, look, I ain't trying to be mean, but I don't care. Like I really don't care. So um and most of like sometimes it's gonna be your family and
Mm-hmm.
you just gotta distance yourself from it and stop trying to be so comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main thing right there. You so hell bent on being comfortable in life that you're blocking your own growth in general. Like
Yeah.
there are people with shit relationships that they've been in forever, and they're afraid to break that. They're afraid to leave the relationship just because it's a fact that all right, I'm trying to be loyal. But what are you being loyal to if you're not being loyal to yourself? How are you taking care of the other person if you're not taking care of, bro? It don't make sense. It's not even a logical thing. If I can't be happy within, if I can't take care of myself from within, then you can't be taking care of somebody else. It's not a thing. It's not even possible. So what are you really taking care of? You're being selfish for one thing, and since you want to be comfortable, let's take it a whole step further. You're being a disservice to life in general when you try to cater to somebody else and you're not taken care of.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So that's a lot to unpack there. So how would you say to someone that's like they're constantly because we know a couple of people like this. We've been there before, but like you're trying to please everybody else but yourself. And it you're getting dragged through the mud, and it could be like a family member, a significant other, brother, sister, and it's just like once you do it once, you're already entangled in their web, and it's just like they'll constantly repeat
Mm,
the system.
mm,
And when you get hip to it and try to break away from it, the problem is you. Like they all blames is on you. It's like it's your fault that they're this way, or
mm,
you you've changed in a bad way or something, and all you want to do is just like have like just some me time to yourself, or just like,
mm,
instead of going here, you just rather stay at home and chill, and just they done blew up over this small little thing that
mm-hmm,
would have brought you happiness. And it's like some people they'll fall into it. They'll be like, oh well, I could do this for her. She has done something for me somewhere, along the line. She's done something. And it's just like that. That's just like the what we talked about at the beginning with the Jada and Will situation. It's
yeah.
a form of manipulation. And it's like it's so easy to fall into and just go with, because again, it's comfortable, it's what it's something easy. And when a challenge comes, you're just ready to fall back into that easy situation. And it's just like you're gonna have to be comfortable with the challenges in order to break away from that. Maybe that person along the line can change after enough, you know of you standing up, or sometimes you just have to let them go. And it's just when is the right time to do that. uh
Oh, well, we
Usually,
get back to the question.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So when like I said, when is the right time to do that? Like, do you do it as soon as it happens? Well, you probably won't be able to get to it as soon as it happens, because
Like if it like some like you said, like some people get into a space where they'd allowed it to happen for so long
mm-hmm,
that you gotta understand that once you if you get tired of it, understand that once you stand up for yourself, what you should have been doing from the beginning,
mm-hmm,
once you stand up for yourself, the relationship is gonna change, and you got to be
mm-hmm,
okay with that because
mm-hmm,
it's not about them. It's about your peace. Your peace is is the biggest priority in this situation. All right,
mm-hmm,
so like I I got I got two guys that work with me who and I've been watching it since I knew they were friends all along. Like I was like I already knew them, and
mm-hmm,
like I see them hanging out and all that. I know they hang out outside of work. I can't imagine their relationship outside of work being too much different. But um, one guy he's manipulative, and he always get the other guy to do his dirty work. Like it's like a handle my light work kind of relationship. And the other
mm-hmm,
guy he does it, and the problem is that the one guy who's asking for the favor is making it look like it's beneficial to both of them. And he just been doing it the entire time. Like I ain't saying nothing about it. It ain't my space. Like I can try to nudge you in the right direction, but like in all reality, like it's up to you to break the chains and just be like, all right, this is wrong, and I'm not getting no benefit out of this. Like it's clearly like from the outside in, it's clearly beneficial to one side, bro. Like my
Mm.
man gets screwed every single time, and he blames everybody but the person who's putting them in the screwed up situation, bro. And it's the most hilarious thing. Like it's the most hilarious and most degrading thing I've ever seen in my life, and I see it happen every single day. And when he started complaining about it, he don't complain about the right person, bro. And it's hilarious. I just want to laugh in his face every single time he do it, because I just be like, look, so if this didn't happen, then you would be all right, bro. I just wanted you to know that if you didn't go with such and such, this wouldn't even be a problem. Like you wouldn't even be having this conversation with me. So like with that going on, like at least a year since I've been there.
Mm.
With that going on for that long, bro, like he had to understand that it should have been a hard cap at that at the beginning. Like I understand that some people need help at certain moments. Like
Mm.
you may get backed up at certain moments, or you may have things going on at certain moments, but bro, like I'm still a human too, and I still got a life.
Mm.
So if you don't address that at the beginning and you let that thing drag out, man, you got to understand that at some point you're gonna have to stand up on your own 2 feet, and when you do, it may not go in the way that you want to. But here's the problem that I'm trying to address right now. Some people get to that point, and they get to the point where they feel like they want to stand up for themselves, and they go into the opposite direction because they want to stay comfortable.
Yeah. It makes me laugh because I had a high school relationship. It took me three three times to break up with the same bride.
Yeah, that's a problem. I'm glad you know that's a problem.
So
Yeah.
it was like maybe we ain't gonna go too much in details, but basically the first time explains the entire thing. First time, this was when I was driving my truck. I had a truck, saw one seat, so
Bench.
not a lot of places you can go.
Know what I'm saying?
Uh, did it first thing in the morning because I was just fed up, and bro, I started to cry, and I was like, oh, this is
Drake
do
said
I
you
leave? Do you leave? Like, how we gonna do this?
Drake said you cry, but don't cry on me.
So uh let's just say I reneged on that and it took me two more tries to get it right. Move on. Uh so yeah, don't it's gonna be it's gonna be uncomfortable. I didn't like that uneasy feeling of hurting someone. And
Yeah.
it's not necessarily hurting someone because it's like,
You hurt.
yeah, yeah.
There was a reason you said you needed to break up, bro. Like it wasn't working on both sides. It wasn't mutually beneficial.
Mm,
Like yo, for real, you care way too much about what the other person feel about you to to take care of yourself.
yeah.
And you got to understand that that's a toxic trait.
It's detrimental.
It's a toxic trait, bro. Because if you in a relationship that doesn't condone you taking care of yourself, it's a problem. All right. I wanted to get into and we can bounce around all through that, but
Mm,
like I recently had some situations happen where I had to make some decisions. I ain't think I was going to actually start talking about it publicly, but
okay.
um, here we are. Everybody know I'm a business minded dude,
Mm-hmm.
and we're starting to use schedules. And recently we had a group outing, and the week before that joint, I think I kind of messed it up a little bit, and I felt bad about it. But I was like, "Yo, we double booked. We ain't gonna be able to make it."
Oh,
Alyssa
I
was
understand.
like,
Mm-hmm.
"Look, we said that we're going, so we gotta go." And I'm like, "Look, I understand that, but we got a date with rich folks. And I'm like, yo, no disrespect to the people that we made the plans with. Because Marcus, you were a part of the plans too. So like you
Yeah, I know what you're talking
and I
about.
told you the day it happened, I'm like, yo, I fucked up. Like and I was like, yo, like for real, like if some people are mad at me, is Alyssa was like there everybody's gonna be pissed off at us and nobody's gonna talk to us anymore. I'm like, look, whoa,
Yeah.
if that happens, then it was meant to be. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Like it was meant to be that way. If that's how they were going to carry it. I'm like, I doubt if
Mm-hmm.
everybody else was going to feel like that. Like you making that up in your head. I'm just gonna go to this joint right here. Like for real.
Right.
Like we got a chance to go around people who are going to stretch us
Mm-hmm.
to our maximum. And right now with the goals that we have in AMG in general, like for real, like TV show happening, video games being produced, like I don't have time to just be like, all right, let's go get tacos. Like, let's turn down this knowledge to go get tacos. Like, we can go get tacos when the rich folks ain't doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So otherwise, I'm gonna be over here getting this new knowledge and getting stretched to the maximum, and I come back. So it was this a decision that I had to make because of my goals.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bring that back, right? If the people that I was making plans with get pissed because and honestly, I'm being real. Like I fucked that up. Like I overbooked. I said yes before I looked at the calendar. I'm not the
Mm-hmm.
details guy. I was trying to come up with ways to go to both joints at the same night. I'm like, yo,
Uh-huh.
I
Like, I'm
was like,
just
you
the
know what?
pilot. I ain't the detail guy. I'm just the pilot.
Right, exactly. Like I was like, you know what? It ain't gonna work. Let's just tell them that we can't make it. Like
Mm-hmm.
I was just like in that moment, I reverted to old ways and was like, how do we please everybody? And then I was like, you know what? It ain't gonna be done. Not
Mm-hmm.
tonight, it ain't. Not tonight, it ain't. I was like, look, if y'all gonna meet up at like 9 o'clock, I got you. But the joint closed at 10. So I was like, you know what? Never mind. Everybody got work the next day. It can't work. It's not possible. You know what? Fuck it. Let's cancel. Like, but
Mm-hmm.
um, but I made that decision, right? Because in the moment, it would have felt good to go and just unwind, get some drinks with everybody because it did feel good when we did it the next week. But
Mm-hmm.
it would have felt good to go and do that.
Mm-hmm.
But some of you can't make your decisions like that because you're too busy thinking about how other people perceive you and too busy thinking about what other people want you to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you're living your life based off of other people's perception of you,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to think about your goals.
With that scenario, anyway, like I know there was like three important people that like understood the whole situation, would have been fine if y'all didn't show up. Uh, I don't know about the other people. If they did get mad at y'all, that's their choosure. Uh, but
Been a while.
it's it's like it's we've talked about it before. It's catastrophizing. Like you're getting like in this headspace of like you said, pleasing other people, and with that situation that we had, you guys were able to say, hey, we're not going to be able to make it. uh I forget everything that was said, but we rescheduled. In the end, we rescheduled to basically cater to you guys. uh and if it didn't happen that way, oh well. But
I'm pretty sure. Now that I'm thinking back on it, I'm pretty sure somebody else said they won't be able to make it too. So it wasn't for us.
for y'all. Oh
No.
well. Anyway, everything worked out. Everyone was able to. Well, not everyone, but you guys were able to join the festivities and we all had a good time. And it's just like, why isn't the positive the first thing we think of? And I
Right.
know it's a million reasons why we're always focused on the negative, but it's just like, you deserve a win. You deserve wins as much as you deserve losses. Like you only get losses because maybe you didn't study hard enough for a test, or you didn't put as much into it as possible. But
Mm.
if you are constantly putting 100% in your work, you should come up with nothing but wins. Sometimes you have to tweak your mindset to see that you are getting W's instead of taking L's. But it's just like, you know it's a mindset thing. It's a
Mm.
mindset shift. um Say, with your books, you're about to publish book
3.
3. There we go. uh Book 1 and 2 is a win, but you'll be like, some people, they'll be like, I didn't get all the books that I want yet, so I'm still taking L's. But you're also publishing books. You're getting closer to that last book that you're going to publish, or if there
Or
is.
that one that's going to make your career is what you're trying to say.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I
or
mean,
whatever you
I was
see as a
perfectly
dream.
fine with the fact that, once I publish a book, don't
Mhm.
expect that book to be the thing. Like, don't expect
Right.
that one to be the end all be all. Like, you just gonna have a bestseller right out the gate. Like, don't
Right.
even do that. Like, you probably won't get you probably publish about five, six, maybe 10 books before you get to a bestseller. Some
Right.
people don't publish it. Some people don't publish it up until like 30 until they get that bestseller, bro. Like
Mhm.
it's a work in progress. Is the thing, like, and I wouldn't know that if I didn't associate myself with people who've already done it.
Right.
If I don't reach out to find people, break that comfort zone, and find people who are going to stretch me even in the realm of being an author.
Mm. Yeah. And it's like, how do you expect yourself to grow if you don't surround yourself with people that are growing in your field, or people that have already grown in your field?
Mm-hmm.
You can't, you know, become a better swimmer if you're hanging out with track people.
No. Or like your man who wants you to who wants you to play the video game that he good in. You a swimmer, and your rock climbing friends tell you to go rock climbing with them because it might help you in your swim meets.
It's a weird world we live in. I
Oh
swear.
man, you know we just got weird people, man. Like,
That too.
and it's up to you to make sure that you keep the right people around you that's going to
Mm.
push you into your next level, bro. Like, with our last meeting last week, bro, I was so glad we had youth on there. It was a happy accident to have have that man featured on that night, bro. Like, and I loved every minute of it. Him and his kids, bro. Like, I loved every
Uh,
minute of that, bro. Like, we got a whole motivational speech. I got filled in, man. I was taking
mhm.
notes off of what he was saying, bro. I was like, yo, what in the hell happened here, bro? And like, I had to reach out to my man that later on that day, man,
Mhm.
or the next day, and I was like, yo, thank you, bro. Thank you for being a part of this, man. Like, I don't know what role you play for real, but like, I don't know if it's just like you just working with Alex, but dog, I am so glad that I know you right now. Thank you, bro. Like, cause you filled in some blanks last night, bro. I was like, yo, I just wanted to let you know that. So yeah, he just hit me up last night, bro. Told me about some
Mhm.
people that I need to link up with. Well, not necessarily link up with, but kind of like follow their journey, because they started
Mhm.
off from humble beginnings just like us, man. And like, yo, it's about knowing people like that, bro. Like, you talking about a dude who like, we started talking about jobs and he looking at us like, yo, look, I feel y'all, but just quit. like I did it. Here's what I did when I did it. Like, yo, we
uh,
in the conversation, and I don't know if you heard it, bro, but the conversation started going back to work related bullshit, bro. He was just
mm,
like shutting them joints down one by one. I'm like,
come
yeah,
on.
yeah, bro. So yeah, bro. Like I'm like, yo, for real, and like, ah man, because my problem was like every time we talk about money.
Mm,
Every time we start talking about money as a group marker, everything get weird, bro. It's strange, man. I'm like, I don't know why it happens, but like, I was like, yo, we gotta cut that shit out. We'll never be millionaires if we do that, bro. And he was like, and my proof of concept, because I forgot he was on at the moment.
mm.
As like it was a different meeting that he was supposed to be a part of. He just kind of jumped in on this one because we got on Discord. But he was like, "Yeah, man, that's what I'm talking about." I'm like, "All right, that's my proof right there. I'm in the right headspace."
Right. Yeah. And with that, it's like if you don't surround yourself with people that's gonna push you and basically like I'm not gonna say uh confirm that like you're in the right, but basically like shed some light on the fact that your ideas are your ideas are valued, your ideas are, you know, are something. Because if you go to like a cousin, brother, family member, or something that's been in the same place, all their life, they basically retired, they're stagnant. If you come with them with this great idea, oh, I'm gonna move here, start this new life, this new business or whatever, and they just like, yeah, such and such tried that and they ain't really they ain't really do too well, that's for rich folk. That's rich folk talk or whatever and all this other stuff. And it's just like what what says that you can't be that rich folk,
Right,
It's
right. But and like you'll turn around and start listening to these people too, just because they talking, just because you know them, you'll trust their opinions
mm,
and won't even think twice on it. Like my
facts.
man who I told, like he asked me about my week. I told him about the real estate meeting, the first
Mm.
joint that we went to, and he started trying to give me real estate advice, and I ain't never owned a house.
Oh, I know.
I ain't never
Mm.
owned a house, bro. And I'm like, so you got properties? And he was like, no, I just know somebody who. I'm like, look, I ain't trying to be mean, but you're not speaking from experience right now, so I can't listen to that. Then he thought he was gonna hurt my feelings. He was like, all right, it's your funeral. I guess it is. I
He
guess it
said
is.
that. He
Yeah,
said what?
yeah, hell yeah.
Smug, arrogant little bit. Oh my god.
Arrogant as fuck, bro. Like, yeah, hell yeah. Like, I'm just saying, I would never, like, for real. If there's a like, I know who I don't want to be around, bro. Y'all think it's a joke, bro. I'm so serious about this, bro. Like, if there was ever a social gathering
Mm.
where there were people that I cared about and they invited him, bro, I will think twice about going. I'm so, bro.
Oh, yeah.
I am so adamant about the people that I keep around me
Mm.
because I know who I can be around. But I like, bro, I the guy that's so down to a science that I know how long I can be around a certain group of people before they start talking about work.
Oh,
I got it
that's
locked in,
crazy.
bro. I know how long I could be engaged in a conversation. I know how much real life I can speak with somebody. I know how much goal setting conversation I can have with certain people before the conversation start going back to work.
Mm.
Before they start going blue collar on me.
All right. So what is that? What is it? Work is their comfortable spot, and they're just like, oh, instead of talking about my goals, my dreams, my aspirations, something that could, you know, empower me. I just want to go back to work.
You go where you know.
Oh,
And most people don't, and it's all about it's like you just said, it's like it's all about being comfortable. You go where you know. And I know the 9 to 5. I know how to talk shit about my managers, know how to talk shit about my PAs, and because I know for a fact that other people talk shit about PAs when PA's not around. Like I know how to do that, but I don't know how to like, especially like if you're in a social environment outside of work, and the person that you complaining about is telling you that, bro, like you looking at my position like it's the end all be all, but I'm looking at my position like it's death. Like I'm looking at it like, look, you should be thinking a little bit higher. And I started talking to you about that, and you're like, oh man, that just fucked my whole world up. Now I don't know what to think no more. But I literally broke people. I literally break people. Like when they started talking about work, I'm like, look, I feel you, but it's just a job. I'm stuck here for 10 hours like you stuck here for 10 hours. I don't care about what you're what you're complaining about. Like we all got our struggles. Like, what are you gonna do about it when you get home though? Bro, this is the kind of conversation that got me taking to HR. Because there is a group of people in this world who literally don't want to go anywhere else but where they know.
So, all right, let's take it back because with that, I just had the thought like, how do you how do you have those? Because it's like two sets of people that you have working together, and they just kind of like bump heads, and so you have the one person that's like, I'm gonna go to work, I'm gonna do the job, and on the outside, I'm gonna do everything I can to get ahead in life. You're gonna have your entrepreneurs, and 9 times out of 10, they can come to the job, and you won't hear them complain at all about what the job is, what it has in
Wonder
store.
why.
Not to the point where it's an everyday thing. You know, the job is the job. It'll get to you sometimes. But then you have those other people that complain 24/7, and it's just like,
I wonder why.
compared to the other person, the job ain't that serious. Like, why are you complaining every single day about the job when there's stuff outside the job that you could or could not have been doing to put you in a better place?
And what is the question?
Uh, how do you have those two sets of people?
All right. Because other people, like the people who complaining about their jobs every day ain't
Mm,
listening.
not at all.
They're not listening. And what are they not listening to? What you ask? They're not listening to life around them. They're not listening to the world. Or they're listening to it, but they're listening to the wrong thing.
Mm,
So the reason why I don't get stressed out about it, and I'm pretty sure you got a similar story as to why you don't get stressed out about it, other than you just being Marcus and shit. Just you just kind of waterproof the bullshit. And I well, I used to want to be like you, Mark, but I feel like if I was, then I wouldn't be as motivated as I am to get the fuck out. Um, that's just me. I don't know your motivations. We never talked about it. That's just me. I use the bullshit as fuel.
mm,
Um, but our mentors, um, we gotta have a conversation with them tomorrow, and turn in a homework assignment. But our mentors both work in high finance.
okay.
They were both six figure. They were both six-figure earners at their jobs, their full-time jobs. They were both six-figure earners, and they're a husband and wife couple.
Mm,
And and my man's wife was like, all right, so they were on the road all the time, traveling and doing all of these sales trainings and financial trainings and whatnot for this company that they were working for. I don't even remember what company it was. One of the credit card companies.
mm,
And they were doing all this traveling. She got pregnant, and then they were like, something has to change. So they started doing real estate, and she was just like, we have two six-figure incomes, high six figures, Mark. We have two high six-figure incomes that we need to replace. And our job is like for what we're doing, our job ain't working. And they did it.
Hmm.
They replaced their income. So I hear stories like that, and then I compare and contrast. So they taught us back in school to compare and contrast things,
Mm-hmm.
and I compare that and contrast with what I do for a living
Mm-hmm.
to make money, and it don't look the same, bro.
Right.
It don't look the same. Like you talking about these people, they did this, and it might not be what they want to do or what they wanted to do, but it worked. Like it was a job. Like they went into real estate and they looked at real estate like it was a job, and they replaced their full-time income, bro. Like hey, you talking six-figure income. Like I can't. We don't even make their. Alyssa and I didn't even make their salary in the last 2 years working, bro. Like one of their salary, we didn't like together. We didn't even make what they made in the last 2 years.
Hmm.
So I'm looking at that like, look, it's obviously something else out there than this.
Right. And with that alone, like people fail to do that. People fail to take into account that they can be doing something else. They
Yeah,
can be doing something more with their life, and they're just content with their job. And instead of being content and just working a job, they want to be content and also complain about the job that they're content in, but they have all the resources, the time and money. They can acquire the time and money to do something else.
bro. Like you got 86,400 like they had.
Facts. And it's just it's easy to get into something and to start it, but it's more harder to keep it going, and we all know that. But at the end, it's rewarding. Like, why not do it?
Yeah.
And it's just we talked about it before. It's a big mindset shift to get out of being comfortable with what you know, but it's so rewarding in the end.
Yeah.
As
I
in,
mean I can't. It's not too many people I can get on a Zoom call with and start talking about stocks and NFTs and business stuff and LLC talk
facts.
and all that other stuff. It ain't too many people that I would even share that information with. Like,
Ooh, I'm
bro,
glad you
like,
brought that up.
go
So,
ahead.
so, uh, when NFTs first started popping off or whatever, and it started making its way down here, and I was getting information on about it and whatever. Uh, one of the guys was talking about because it's so unknown, but there's proof in it that it's something. Shot it down as soon as I brought it up. Yeah, I don't think you should do that,
Oh yeah, why?
but it works.
Okay, why?
It's like, oh, it can be easily stolen and all. I was like, do you have do you? Where's your receipts? And just like just all the excuses that weren't even valid. Like, so a big excuse about it now. Oh, it's just a picture or a JPEG that you can screenshot or whatever. But now they've actually made it to where there's coding in it where if you do screenshot it or copy it or whatever, it'll make the picture blurry. So there's some form of
Oh no, I ain't
authentication.
know that.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew there was a certificate of authentication that went with it. Like that's always been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
And it's
I,
just
damn, that's crazy.
it's like times are evolving. The proof is literally right there in your face, and you just choose to ignore it. You just like the old people say, you're stuck in your ways and you just go on with life just being stagnant,
Average.
average. Just
Average.
I'm just like, bro,
Mm.
just go be great somewhere, man. Stop
He
doing
is great,
this.
man.
Oh
He
my
is great
god.
at, when he get other people to play video games that he damn, is it bad I knew who you were talking about, bro? And you said not one name, bro.
I ain't gonna say it's bad. It's just like you said before. It's he in a big pot of stuff. Like you could just pull stuff out of the hat and it just be like, yeah,
This
this
applies.
fits.
This applies.
This
That applies.
fits.
That applies. All right, so we gonna end it on this one, man. Like, let me tell y'all, bro. Like, be careful of who you have around you. Not for the sake of being comfortable. No,
Mm,
we're not talking about being comfortable. We're talking about succeeding.
mm,
If the people around you, and no, the people around you may not be like helpful to your growth.
mm,
You may not need them to grow, but if they stop you from growing, that's the same problem.
mm,
Be conscious of who you have around you, what they're talking about, how they're talking, the mood in which they're talking about things. Stop hanging around people who are so fixated on being stuff driven. They look at the things that they have and let the stuff that they have be their substance, because the people that use things as value, they don't have substance in them.
mm,
So be aware of these things when you're moving in life, and have people around you that are going to be like youth and fill you with good energy when you talk to them. If you're talking to somebody and you feel bad about yourself after talking to them, that's a sign.
mm.
If they ask you to do something and you just get that little thought in the back of your mind, that little twinge, that little tick, you know what I'm talking about. I know, and I got one person in mind as I'm thinking about that, as I'm saying that, I got one person in mind. If you had that person around you and they say something to you and they ask you for something and you just had that little thought in the back of your mind, like, yo, what in the hell am I doing? That's a sign. Stop ignoring the signs
Mm.
and get around people who are going to make those signs bigger. They're going to point the arrow back at you and ask you what you could be doing better. Get around people who are going to stretch you outside of your comfort zone, because once you get outside that comfort zone, there's no turning back.
Mm.
Let's go.
Yeah. Hmm. I hear that. I feel that. Uh, Another thing. Always be yourself, people. Uh, because if you have to change yourself to comfort somebody else or deviate from your morals, your likes and dislikes just to please somebody else, is it's not worth it. Because in the end, you're just gonna fall into a cycle where you keep doing that and you become numb to the pains of going against the things that you like, and you become a totally different person. You basically change your entire uh being when this person is around you, and not in a good way.
I see what you did there.
uh and it's it is so detrimental because you're gonna fall into this comfort zone where eventually you lose sight of yourself. You become this a whole different person, like I said before, and it's just like it's not worth it if they're not comfortable with being around the true you. Then
They don't deserve you.
exactly. So be you, always be you, Always stay true to yourself and find people that complete you, that are okay with being around you, that would make time to be around you instead of coming around to be around you when they feel it's necessary. So
Yeah,
go out here and be great people. And always remember, those who fail to address the elephant in the room are doomed to be crushed by the weight of it
absolutely.
and change into something completely different. Like,
All right, so ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, follow us on all of our social media platforms, like us, like the channel on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit the like and subscribe button and all of those good things, because we post videos every Thursday, audio every Tuesday morning
yeah,
at 3 a.m. so you can get your motivation on the way to the place that's going to take the motivation right out of you. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Dirty Trump Podcast. My name is AJ McMullen, formerly known as Aaron Mack. That is Marcus Morton. The elephant
hey.
has been addressed and the elephant is gone. Ladies and gentlemen, peace, love,